high-end fashion brand Balenciaga is apologizing.
Balenciaga has gone too far. A bondage teddy ain't a fashion superstar. A saucy or sexy ad is okay, but a teddy in a gimp suit? No way! We're not amused by the theme of your ads. You're causing a panic for mums and dads. You say it's a mistake? Give me a break. Your so-called apology feels kind of fake. I'm upset. You bet. This is the sickest fashion ad I've seen yet. There's loads of sexy things that you can do, but you really shouldn't do them with Winnie the Pooh. I've thrown all your sneakers and handbags in the trash. This creepy brand ain't getting my cash. I'm totally shocked and you cannot be trusted. Your sexy teddy ruckspins have left me disgusted. Hello folks, welcome back to the show. Today on the Mr. Smelly channel, we're going to talk about the Balenciaga ad scandal, the one that's got everybody talking. Before we do that, if you want to get fragrance samples in the USA, Canada or Puerto Rico, go to myfragrancesamples.com. Link in the description. Amazing range of designer and niche fragrances. Great service there. I highly recommend these guys to sample your favorite fragrances from whichever house, but maybe right now you ain't keen to smell Balenciaga fragrances because of what's happened. Okay, let's talk about this then. Huge story, guys. Okay, so I want to thank somebody. Thank you to Erica Boobaloo, a fragrance reviewer, great YouTuber, and I'm going to interview her very soon, hopefully, on my channel about this. She's been on my live streams too, and a really, really interesting channel. Go and subscribe. Link to her video is in the description on this subject. She showed me about this story when I noticed her video in my feed. So thank you to her. You can see her take on it. Okay, guys, so Balenciaga, famous historic Spanish fashion house, well known recently for being almost a little bit of an anti-fashion brand. I think they recently sold a black bin bag, a Balenciaga bin bag for several $1,000s or something like that. They had a handbag that looks like a packet of Lay's crisps or something. So they do a lot of this kind of weird, wacky, out there kind of stuff, and they're a bit of attention grabbing. They like to be trending, and they tend to do things to grab attention and be a little bit off the wall, okay, in recent years. And this is a rather an example of that, which arguably has backfired badly. So let me tell you what happened, okay? So Balenciaga, about 7 or 8, 9, 10 days ago, it emerged this story that their holiday campaign was all centered around these handbags, or it featured handbags, which were in the shape and the form of teddy bears in bondage gear, basically, in chains and that kind of thing. You know, the typical kind of S&M looking type of gear, as most adults would recognize it pretty clearly. They were kinky teddy bears. Big deal, you might say. Loads of fashion brands have done things probably more shocking than that. Yes, however, here's the real issue. These ads featured young kids holding the bags. Young kids, probably under the age of 10, if quite a bit younger maybe, holding these bags, looking kind of nonplussed. And of course, understandably, outrage, shock, and horror from a lot of people. A lot of people absolutely outraged about this. More conservative people very, very upset. And, understandably so. This is it's not a good look. It's in very, very poor taste. No doubt about that. One wonders what they were thinking. Let's talk about what they might have been thinking. Why on earth did they do this? Why am I talking about it? I'm a fragrance channel, and I'm going to tell you also why I am not throwing away my Balenciaga fragrances. I'm still going to wear them happily, and I'll tell you why. That's a hot take, guys, okay? So Balenciaga, big fashion brand. They have a reasonable line of fragrances, although they're not the most prolific with their fragrances. It doesn't seem to be their main thing, but there's a Flora Botanica range I think some of the ladies wear. I've got some great old classic men's ones. But this story then, okay, so basically putting little kids with these teddy bears, it's in poor taste, let's be honest. Juxtaposing these bondage kinky teddy bears, which in and of themselves, why you want a handbag that looks like that, I have no idea, but these fashion brands do these off-the-wall kind of things, fine. Some people have more money than sense. So that would have been completely fine, but why on earth did they think it would help their brand to put little kiddies holding them? That is in very poor taste. It is distasteful. It is, I don't think it's a good look, and it puts me off the whole idea of their brand. And of course, these handbags, not that I would have ever had any slight interest in them or have known about them. And here's the crux of the matter. So there's a couple of questions. Why did they do it? Well, one possibility, as they were saying a little while ago, was they were let down by the people who they paid to do the ad campaign. And I think they were going to be taking them to court or suing them over it. I think they've now dropped that. I think, don't quote me. But that was their first kind of statement. They have apologized. Balenciaga have apologized and said this was a bad mistake. mistake. So let's give them credit for that. However, yeah, their first kind of line was, hey, these people let us down, but you have to, come on, guys. You don't just pay someone to do your ad campaign and then not have a look at it before you publish it. You had to okay it. And anyone with an ounce of common sense could say, oh my God, can you really do that? That's really, is that a good look? That's really distasteful. That's bad. Anyone with any ounce of common sense could see that. And that's why it beggars belief, really, that it didn't occur to them that this would cause controversy and be very unpopular and create a backlash. So was it a terrible mistake? Or here's the other theory. Is this exactly what they wanted? Or publicity, some people say, is good publicity. This brand specializes maybe in causing a little bit of a shock factor to get its name in the press. And we're all talking about it. I wouldn't have been talking about Balenciaga. They don't need my help, but much bigger channels on YouTube, social media. Everyone's talking about this brand. Was this a deliberate ploy? What's the most shocking thing we can do? I'm not saying it was, but that will be a theory some people will put forward. They did this to get their name in the press, to get the media, the social media, talking about Balenciaga. Lots of people will be horrified. Lots of people will boycott them. But it might be the same people who never bought their stuff anyway. Maybe if they're going for a young, hip, trendy market out there who like controversy, who want to be rebels, just maybe this helps their brand to have this story in the news. What do you think about that, guys? Clearly, my humble opinion, I'm not as shocked as Erica Boobaloo, who I think is a great YouTuber. I really advise you to go and subscribe to her channel. Thank you to her for alerting me to this story. I'm not as shocked, but I agree with her that the ads are in poor taste. It wasn't a good thing. It wasn't okay. Any normal human being can see that you shouldn't put kids in adverts next to that kind of a product. It's just not a good thing. It's just common sense, okay? It's common sense. It doesn't matter where you are politically, left, right, in the middle, halfway around the bend. Anyone knows that's just not common sense, okay? That's what I think about that. However, do I think that the whole moral fabric of society is under threat and all our kids are now in danger because of Balenciaga's ad campaign? No, there's an element of a slight moral panic being whipped up by some sections, maybe of the media. But what do you think? Let me know about that down there in the comments below. Interesting story. Also, one other thing. In another ad, somebody looked into it and found, if you look closely, there were some papers on a table next to a handbag which related to a legal case dealing with, let's say, a certain kind of online content that is illegal. Let's put it that way, okay? And it ties into the previous issue with the young people in the ads. I won't say any more than that to avoid getting my channel in trouble. So they're saying, is there something sinister about the whole Balenciaga brand? People, talking about Satanism and stuff in videos discussing this. I am not saying any of that stuff is true. It sounds like rather bizarre and spurious speculation to me. But yeah, certainly there are reasons for people to be raising eyebrows about some of the goings on with the brand, and a few of the people connected. I think one of the people connected with the ad campaign does have a history of producing some rather shocking images in general. So let me know your thoughts on that. I'm going to tell you, just so if you're here for fragrance content, you are getting some in this video, okay, guys? So first of all, I'm going to talk to you about Balenciaga Portos. So this is way back when Cristobal Balenciaga was still alive. Portos, 1980 release, a woody chypre. Notes in this one: galbanum, coriander, artemisia, bergamot, cumin, carnation, patchouli, galbanum, vetiver, Virginia cedar, my favorite type of cedar, jasmine, castoreum, leather, myrrh, incense, oak moss, French labdanum, and musk. I've just got the aftershave splash. Those can be fine. Can't get this anymore, but I found one on eBay. Exquisite, dry, bitter, green, woody, aromatic, lots of kind of herbal aromatic tones in there and spices. Very complex, leathery, rugged, masculine. Stood up really well in the bottle over the years. Fantastic, fresh, but woody and complex and leathery. Classic chypre fragrance from the mid-20s or the late, just coming into the late 20th century there, 1980. Amazing release. Fantastic and a great release. I still treasure having that. Obviously, would I now give money to Balenciaga? Look, it's a moot point. I wasn't buying any Balenciaga things anyway. I don't massively believe that consumer boycotts have the power to influence the morality of big corporations or capitalism overall. So I don't know my stance on that, but I do agree the ads were wrong and bad. This fragrance, so I'm not giving any money to anyone by keeping on wearing it. I think it's still fantastic. If you're interested in chypre fragrances, don't forget to check out Chypre Fulminare, the new release from my brand, Naughton & Wilson. Amazing, woody, leathery chypre. Actually, if you like things like this, I'm not saying it's very similar, but this, you're not going to find. This you can buy now, incredible price of £95. Our website's down there. It's Coming to the USA very soon. It might be there by the time you watch this. At the moment of shooting this, only available in the UK, £95. And at the moment, just for a couple of days left, you can get Gravitas Pour Homme, our fantastic fougere, with this in the UK for only £120. Don't miss out. Okay, amazing offers also if you're watching this before December the 9th, 2022, in the USA, Canada, and the UK for Gravitas and Bon Viveur, 30% off. Our November sale has gone way into December. It's crazy. Go there, link in description. Okay, so fantastic fragrance there from Balenciaga, despite whatever's happened lately. And here's the other one, 1990 Balenciaga Pour Homme, a woody, amber woody fragrance, perfumer Gerard Anthony. Get this note listing, loads of notes: cinnamon, coriander, laurels, bergamot, thyme, cardamom, galbanum, pepper, patchouli, sandalwood, cedar, cypress, honey, oak moss, labdanum, musk, vanilla. This one, less fresh, rather more pungent, rather more unctuous, rather more of a powerhouse fragrance. Okay, this has this animalic undertone. It looks back to the 80s and things like Koros by Yves Saint Laurent, maybe Chanel's Anteos, maybe things like Lapidus Pour Homme, the powerhouse fragrances, the very masculine, manly fragrances of the 80s. And although things were about to move on and maybe they were behind the times with this release, they almost perfected the genre with this one. So Balenciaga, rugged, masculine, pungent, rich, has kind of hints of things that almost remind me of a kind of incense tone. I don't know if that doesn't seem... Labdanum is in there. Okay, good. Honey can be almost animalic because it does come from a bee's bits, in a way. It comes from, I don't know, it comes from a bee, doesn't it? It's kind of animalic, and some of the other tones in there have this gnarly undertone. It's rich, it's rugged, it's masculine, it's kind of warming. It has a certain freshness mixed with a sort of everything but the kitchen sink note listing. Powerhouse. Again, you can't find it for love nor money now. I was lucky to get a 30ml. Well, from the glory days of Balenciaga, now they've had a rather less glorious couple of weeks, I'm afraid. Let me know what you think about that. If you thought this video was different, please subscribe to the channel. The link, the button there, which allows you to subscribe, is freely available. Subscribe to my channel. You may just enjoy watching some of my other content. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget my live streams every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 5:30 p.m. New York City time. We have some amazing guests, including, I hope, Erica Boobaloo. Go and check her video. She agrees with me, but she has a stronger opinion against it, and I totally respect that. Thanks for watching. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. And sometimes life may stink, but at least we can always smell good. See you next time. Bye-bye.